these are probably the most viral pair of glasses on Twitter right now. XG might have stolen the small artist glasses frame style, so let's talk about it. Also, again, disclaimer before I get into this, let's just ignore the background, the setup, the scuff, because your girl leaves for Japan in like 12 hours and it is like 1 a.m. in the morning right now and I travel soon. So the tweet in question is tweeted out by Alifia, I hope I am saying your name correctly, who goes by the Twitter handle morning hair. Never thought this would happen to me, but here we are, LMAO. XG at XGofficial _ stealing the designs of a small artist me for their upcoming MV. And they attach photos of the glasses. So the first photo attached is their work. Then the second photo attached is one of the promos for XG. The third photo is another promo from XG. This one's the Twitter one. And the fourth photo is a photo of their glasses again that is reposted by this account called Gassed Fashion. Alifia follows up with, I made these glasses for a unique project in materiality. They went viral after being reposted by Gassed Fashion on Instagram. And I've subsequently received a lot of styling polls and requests from magazines and artists. If XG wanted them, they could have asked. And it was a photo of the original tweet that Alifia made of these glasses, which was tweeted in October 9th, 2023. And as you can see, they showcase a lot of extra detailing on the frames. So we can see the side detailing. They seem to have repositioned part of what was originally over the nose as against the frame. You can see the detailing from the other side and other close-up shots as well. And I have to say personally, I think these glasses look absolutely sick. I wish I could pull something off like that. This person, Alifia, clearly is extremely talented, and I actually went to their Instagram because I was wondering why this person looks so familiar. I remember seeing one of their pieces that had gone viral on Twitter. And it was this piece of the prayer hands where it was jewelry that they labeled this as Reverence/Restriction March 2024. Integrative studio designed to hurt the wearer, restricting their hands to form a perpetual pose of prayer. I thought this was the coolest concept I've ever seen. I absolutely love it. And I just watched this video on repeat over and over again when I first saw this. But going up into follow-up context that Alifia added, I don't listen to this group. I'm honestly more disappointed in the stylists for not reaching out to me and resorting to stealing smaller artists' work. I'm not sure exactly if there are other artists doing similar designs as mine, but I've not exactly seen metalwork glasses with dangling accessories such as the liquid smooth pair. The placement of the metal soldering, the chains, the pendants, even the shape of the frames are so specific that I can't help but feel like my work and artistry has been referenced unfairly and without credit. A little while later, Alifia tweeted, just woke up to this getting more traction than when I first tweeted, so I'm muting LOL, leaving some clarifications. Again, I never said I was the original artist. I stated already about not being sure if other artists do similar work as I do, but not having personally seen any. Many people have also told me they're making an iteration of the gentle monster frames. While it would make sense, and I honestly hope that's the real case, what gets me is the specific style of organic metal adornment. Gentle Monsters frames are sleek and minimal, simple and fixed. So first they show a comparison top and bottom, with top being their frames and the bottom being the ones from XG. And what they're truly trying to highlight is the coincidences, where as you can see, the frames, they're both the kind of like more thin bayonetta glasses style with a very thin silver bands. But on the left-hand side here, there is abundance of soldering with a long chain hanging down with a large charm attached to the bottom. And then they're also highlighting on the left lens, specifically in the top right of the left lens, there is some more metal detailing. On the right lens, on the right-hand side of the right lens is again an abundance of metalwork on it as well. They basically were highlighting that these are the similarities that were kind of in question that made them potentially think it was more than just them being inspired by Gentle Monster frames. And Gentle Monster frames in question, this is one pair of Gentle Monster frames, and as you can see, it does also carry the same sleek silver finish, but it's lacking a lot of the intricacies of the metalwork that is present in Alifia and XG's piece. And this other piece as well is also highly cited. This pair is another Gentle Monster pair, which you can see there's a lot of what looks like earring studs stuck into the leg of the glasses frame, with again the whole body of the frame being a very, very sleek silver design with other metal ornaments attached to it. But I again would say that while it potentially could be inspired by this pair specifically with the extra metal work, the sparkles added, the earring stud specifically, I definitely do not see as close of a resemblance of XG's glasses to the Gentle Monster pairs than I do with the XG glasses and Alefia's pairs. Alefia follows up with stating, the glasses I've made and the ones featured by XG are organic, have no fixed shape, resemble metal that is liquefied. I personally achieved it with soft soldering. Notice the placement and even shape of certain metal adornments and the hanging chains. So again, we see the comparison with XG's frames versus their frames. And if we go back, I do want to highlight a lot of similarities. As you can see here on the XG frame, on the left lens, there is a long chain with some metal ornaments attached to it, some charms. On the right frame, the bottom of the frame has a chain, but the chain then attaches to the leg of the eyeglass frame. And if you see, this same thing is actually present in Alefia's piece, which was made first. Where you can see on Alefia's piece on the left-hand side of the eyeglass frame, there is a long chain hanging down that is covered in organic metalwork with the soft soldering, with a charm hanging below it. On the right frame, you again can see there is a chain that is hanging down from the right frame, but it then again reattaches to the right side eyeglass leg. So it loops, and both of those elements are present in the same pair of glasses as XG. And I think with this photo specifically, where you can kind of see it's more of like a slightly higher up angle, so we can see the chain on both sides of the head, it really kind of seals the deal even more that maybe not one-to-one copied. This piece from XG definitely looks heavily inspired by Alefia's work. And Alefia states, I may not have been the first person to make metalwork glasses. People have quoted Givenchy, but the first specific pair that I made is my design that I feel has been referenced. If you'd like to tell me that this is very specific and a particular style of soft soldering glasses has existed long before mine, please do show me rather than simply saying it without images. Helps a lot rather than telling me baselessly that I have no originality or do not deserve to feel the way I feel. And once more, my design does not equal I'm the first person to do this. Still my design. Maybe my tone in the first tweet was accusatory and unprofessional. I apologize. Imagine how I felt seeing XG's campaign sent to me personally and telling me that they look weirdishly similar to my work. And then let's take a look at the comments, stating XG's look more like a play on Gentle Monster's designs. Alefia says, I don't know. Gentle Monster's designs don't feature organic metal shapes like their frames. The shape and dangling ornaments are too maximalistic for Gentle Monster's simplistic and sleek designs. And I think one thing that I do want to define for you guys is that Alefia keeps using the term organic, and I think if you're not an artist, this may elude you a little bit. But the thing that Alefia here is really trying to cite is that this soft metal work using soldering metal, or it doesn't have to be the soldering metal itself, but it could be like another alloy or something. In this type of work, it does create a very like liquid metal look because it melts so much lower. It looks the same way as if you were to take a hot glue gun and like glue it around, because the glue melts so quickly with the hot glue tip, and it kind of has like a softer, stringier look to it, that this type of metalwork is not present in a lot of glasses or other jewelry that you could really see. It doesn't have this specific like soft metal look that Alefia is trying to cite. And I absolutely do agree too. And when I first looked at this tweet too, I do want to say that I initially was a little bit hesitant because I was like, well, it does look like maybe it could be a coincidence. But the more I think about it and the more I talk about this video, the less of a coincidence it seems to me personally. But going into other tweets here, we have Michaela stating the MV comes out tomorrow and you'll be able to find the name of the stylist in the MV credits. XG likes commissioning special pieces for the MVs, so you might be able to find out who exactly made them since they're very active on social media. I hope this gets figured out. Alefia says, thank you so much. I'll definitely reach out. I hope this gets resolved positively. Also, by the way, I don't know literally a lick of K-pop, so I don't know what NV stands for. I'm looking to the maker of the glass Chisa is wearing, but this is the only thing I found. Look like from the same maker or a customized version of it. And these lenses do look really cool. It definitely is giving me Gentle Monster vibes though. Alefia says, thank you so much for doing the research. What's the name of the creator, I may ask? And there was no response. We have Jen Long Ong stating, you got your inspiration from Givenchy with a photo of frames, and this has 3.8k likes, which is very interesting. So again, this was citing the frames that people were likening Alefia's frames to. I would say Alefia could have been inspired by Givenchy, but the similarities between Givenchy and Alefia's piece and XG's piece is way closer to Alefia's piece than it is to Givenchy's piece. Alefia may have been inspired by this Givenchy piece, but XG's piece was not inspired by this Givenchy piece to me. You know what I'm saying? The similarities looks a little bit too close to me. And you have a lot of people in the comment section basically stating, yeah, they don't look alike at all, this, that, and the third. And I think another thing too, which is actually really unfortunate, is that the glasses were made by XG. So Alefia is not only fighting against like artists and people who aren't artists, but maybe have like an eye and want to throw in their 2 cents, but also like all of the XG stans in the comment section who probably are going to be very biased towards their favorite K-pop group. But I do think another reason why is I saw this tweet from Namgi Tolover. I hate that I have to say that username out loud. I don't even know who Namgi is, man. They tweeted, "It might sound crazy, but I don't really see the resemblance." And then they replied with, like, "I see the resemblance with these so much more than to yours, just I don't know." Here are some more photos. These again are all Gentle Monster frames. Another Gentle Monster frame. I believe this is Gentle Monster anyways. Yeah, this is. Another Gentle Monster frame. Another frame. This one is not Gentle Monster. And other people in the comment section are stating, "I thought so too when I first saw it. Like, girl, stealing what? It's not like you're the first person who made those kinds of glasses." Faylina states, "They look like Gentle Monster glasses." Random says, like, "I don't see it at all, and I'm not even being shady. Like, glasses frames with ornaments aren't exactly fresh and new. Givenchy has done this before, and I think it's becoming Gentle Monster's motif as well." And Hallow is stating, like, "It's just chains on glasses." And Sab says, "It seems more like they took a pair of frames from Gentle Monster and DIY'd a couple of things onto it." Cranberry Vest says, "OP's work is beautiful, but like, they did not trademark nor invent metalwork art or glasses with charms and adornments. Like, I see the resemblance, but it just feels like the same medium being used to make 2 different pieces of art instead of copying. When people don't punctuate, it's hard to read." So going back to the original tweets, those are basically the sentiments from 2 sides, with one side of the house stating, yeah, it actually does look really similar. Or actually, I feel like most people aren't on that side. Most people think that it does not look similar, and most people do think Alifia is reaching. And throwing in my 2 cents at the very end of this like summary, etc., when you look at the 2 frames side by side, when we do the side by side comparison, and I tried picking an angle that would be the closest to the angle of the photo of the XG one, when you look at it like this, I'm just saying, I don't know how you can say this is not similar. I'm a little bit at a loss of words. I think maybe it's the nose piece, and that if the nose piece was removed, then maybe people would think that it's similar. I think this is just an unfortunate case, to be honest. A lot of people are making the argument, oh, what if like XG just thought, oh my god, Gentle Monster frames are really cool, let me take my own inspiration, and they arrived at the same conclusion. You know, how like multiple people around the world can invent the same thing, right? Like fire has been invented by more than just one person around the world. Invented, right? I mean, in this day and age, I think the thing is we do need to take into account how many similarities there are. And then after seeing the amount of similarities, we can then arrive to a conclusion. Like, how many elements could you remove off of Alifia's glasses? Or like, how many elements between Alifia's glasses that makes it unique is also present in XG's glasses, right? The first thing is the frame itself. Alifia used a thin metal frame with narrow oval-shaped lens frames, and it's thin and silver. XG's glasses are the same. It is also a very, very thin metal frames that are also silver that is reminiscent of the Bayonetta style glasses, but the thin metal versions. So in terms of coloring, they're both silver. In terms of the frame style, they're very, very similar. It's not the same, I will say that, but it's very, very similar. And another element that makes Alifia's piece unique are the metal detailing around the frames of the glasses. On her piece, I see 1, 2, 3, what looks like from this angle, I could see 4 points where you could see metal detailing. On the right lens, it's top right and bottom right. On the left lens, it is top right and top left. And if you look at the frames from XG, the metal detailing is basically in the same place. XG's frames on the right frame has metal detailing on both the top right and the bottom right of the right lens and the bottom left. And on the left lens, it also has detailing on the top right and the top left of the left lens. So out of all the places that ornaments were placed on Alifia's glasses, between the 2 frames, there's actually only 1 point of difference, being XG added an extra detailing on the bottom left of the right frame. Everywhere else, the placement is actually the same. Now, another element that makes Alifia's piece unique is the charms, the dangling pieces. So Alifia's piece has 3. On the left frame, there is 1 long dangling chain. On the right frame, there is 1 chain that then reattaches back to the leg of the glasses. And there is a 3rd and final chain that can hook over the nose. If you look at XG's piece, they have 2 out of 3 of those elements. They have a dangling chain on the left side. They have a chain on the right that then reattaches to the leg of the right frame. And they are missing the nose piece. I do think they probably would not have copied the nose piece, because then that would be without a doubt you are basically copying Alethea's design. Because the nose piece is omitted, then somebody could argue that it's just referencing instead of copying, right? And the line between heavily referencing and copying is very gray, especially when it's a piece like this, when it's a IRL art piece. It's not something that you traced, right? But the final thing is the charms that are attached to Alethea's piece. So Alethea has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 charms if you count the heart-shaped thing attached to the right leg of the frame. And the charms are also present in XG's frames, but there's less and they're different. So XG's frame has, I believe, 3 because one is actually getting cropped off on the bottom here. There's 2 heart charms and then 1 more on the bottom. So it has half the amount of charms that Alethea's piece has, and they are different charms. But when we take a step back after doing this little analysis and you take a look at this, you can acknowledge that, oh boy, there are more similarities between these frames than there are not. And we can do the same comparison between Alethea's piece and a Gentle Monster frame. Let's just do Alethea's piece and this Gentle Monster frame. What makes this Gentle Monster frame unique is they do both have the, again, very, very thin silver metaling. So the color is the same. The thickness is about the same. The frame style is different though, because the Gentle Monster one has a more aviator style with actually the leg of the glasses protruding from the bottom of the lens instead of the top, which is where you normally see it. So there is that point of difference first off. Secondly, I would say what are the core elements that makes this Gentle Monster piece unique, that if you remove it, would then take it away from this piece and that you may not think it's a Gentle Monster piece anymore. It is the earring studs that are actually stuck inside the leg of the glasses. So on the Gentle Monster frame, on both legs, there are 5 earring studs in alternating up and down positioning on both legs. Earring studs are not present in Alethea's work. And then if we again look at the Gentle Monster piece, the other element that makes this Gentle Monster frame really unique are the rhinestones that are evenly spaced out around both lenses. There are no rhinestones present in Alethea's work. And then going back into Alethea's work, what makes her piece unique are the, again, soft metaling detailing and the chains and charms hanging from the glasses. But this Gentle Monster piece has no soft metal work, nor are there any charms, right? I'm not counting rhinestones as charms. It's not the same thing technically. And there is no hanging chains from the Gentle Monster piece. To say that the XG piece is just referencing Gentle Monster, I think is a bit of a stretch once you compare it to Alethea's piece. It definitely looks way more similar to Alethea's piece than it does to the Gentle Monster piece. And if I bring up again the 2 comparisons, top and bottom, it becomes really, really apparent. So, I mean, my final conclusion of this, where I stand on looking at this at least, is I think Alethea is completely right and feeling very uncomfortable with how similar that these frames look to her frames. And I do feel like they're being unfairly criticized for reaching when I don't think this is a reach whatsoever. I definitely think there is a high similarity between the 2 frames, and I'm really sorry this happened to Alethea. I hope it could be resolved soon. I hope, best case scenario, this was a case of a stylist who maybe over-referenced a little bit too much, maybe referenced only Alethea's work instead of referencing a multitude of glasses to put like the different elements together, because it definitely looks like they only had 1 point of reference. And I really do hope Alethea can get the recognition they deserve, because I absolutely love their work. I love the way their brain thinks. I think their pieces are extremely unique, and if they do so, they might have a customer soon. So anyways, yeah, I'll link their stuff down below because Alethea is extremely talented. So go check them out.